a lot of these reporters, from the anchors at the news desks to the foreign policy reporters, have for 20 years made friends with soldiers who fought in Afghanistan and Afghans. And they use an app called WhatsApp, which is a secure messaging app from Facebook. It was so popular, Facebook bought it so they could expand their global reach. And the Taliban itself uses WhatsApp because it's secure end-to-end encryption. Nobody can read your messages. So reporters can also text with Afghans, and the Taliban can't read their messages. And the reports that the reporters are getting from the people who served as their drivers, from the people who served as their translators, from the soldiers who accompanied them out into the field, is uniformly negative and critical. The number of soldiers complaining about their mental health now, why did they have to go endure that if we were going to cave, is through the roof. The Afghans themselves are begging for help, if not for them, for their children, particularly their daughters. The situation on the ground there, you can't lie about it. As much as the Biden administration is telling people what's happening, there is a disconnect, first of all, in that you've got this strange setup where the Biden team is telling people in briefings that what's happening on the ground isn't happening, and then you're having the Defense Department brief Congress and say that it is happening and it's not good. So you've got Biden, for example, saying no one is deprived of the ability to get to the airport, while the Defense Department is briefing Congress saying people are being deprived of getting to the airport. You have Biden saying no one is being beaten at the airport, and you got the Defense Department saying actually Americans have been beaten by the Taliban. The press understands it's got a credibility issue to a degree. The press understands that. But the press also understands that they may not like Trump and they may not like Republicans, but these are their friends they are hearing from, and they themselves, just like you and me, tend to trust their friends over anyone else. As a result, the press coverage is critical. The most striking, noticeable thing is that the reporters who have been to Afghanistan and have made friends of Afghans and of soldiers who fought in Afghanistan, their coverage is deeply critical. The people who have never been to Afghanistan, who don't have any friends in the military, they're the ones saying, the press is too critical. They need to get back in line. They need to defend Biden. You can't ignore your lived experience, nor can you ignore your friends. And it doesn't do good for the round table on reliable sources or the liberal editorialists to attack the press, because frankly, the press realizes they are distrusted by the public in large part because they only like to hold one side accountable. And also the press realizes what their friends are telling them directly is at odds with what the Biden administration is saying. And at heart of all journalists, remember, is Watergate. Every reporter wants to be the guy who brings down the White House. Every reporter wants to be the guy who speaks truth to power. And here's a prime opportunity for Watergate dreams to be lived.